sweetheart. I thought I'd call and say Happy New Year.
Oh, hi, Daddy. And Happy New Year to you, too.
How's my little girl tonight?
Well, I'm just fine. Thank you, Daddy.
Ha. Oh, before I forget it, tell Charlie he won't be needed this weekend.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Better yet, put him on the phone. I'll tell him myself.
He's not home yet, Daddy.
What do you mean he's not home? Are you telling me you're all alone there? Where's the nurse? Where's Norma?
It is New Year's Eve. I gave her the night off.
Well, then why isn't Charlie home? It's 9:30.
He was supposed to come home early, but he had a late business meeting with Bill Jameson.
Business? What business?
Oh, something came up at the office at the last minute. There's nothing to worry about. I'm fine.
Let me get this straight, honey. If you gave the nurse the night off because Charlie is supposed to be home early, then where the hell is he?
I just talked to him. He's on his way home. Just leaving the office. Oh, good Lord. Look at the time. I have to go and change my clothes, Daddy. Now, don't worry about anything.
If you say so. I'll call tomorrow, same time as usual.
I love you, Daddy. Kisses.
And tell your husband to call me in the morning. I think we better talk. And call me when you...
Daddy, I gotta go. Your call, please. The operator. I've been trying 555-4093, and there just must be some trouble on the line because it's my husband's private line into his office, and it's been busy for hours. So I would appreciate it if you would break in for me, please. My name is Madeline Stevenson.
There will be a $1 charge for the interrupt.
Fine.
The line is ringing through now.
Thank you, operator.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Stevenson,
Jack?
please. Hello, who is this?
It's me, pal.
Got your message. You all set for tonight?
Yeah, no problem.
Excuse me, but you're on my call. Would you please hang up?
You got it straight, right?
I said no problem. I get in through the window in the back. 5 minutes later, she's history.
Don't forget, after you get in, you got 10 seconds to deactivate the security system. You got the code?
I got the code. You gave it to me, remember? I got the address by First Avenue, by the river.
Can you hear me? What number is this?
Jack, you forgot the most important thing.
Oh, yeah?
It's midnight. Pal, you nail her at the stroke of midnight. Exactly when the fireworks go off over the river and everybody starts screaming. Just in case she starts carrying on, okay? Got it?
No problem.
And you leave your piece at home, Jack. The client wants it short and sweet. He doesn't want her to suffer too much. And no mess.
Sentimental, huh?
And don't forget the jewelry in the bureau drawer. It's gotta look like a robbery. Very important.
Okay, I got it.
Your call, please.
Operator, you just gave me a wrong number.
What number were you calling?
Well, I was calling my husband's office, but this is so difficult to explain. I heard these men, but they couldn't hear me. The lines must have been crossed or something. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but they were planning a murder.
How can I help you?
Well, I want you to get that wrong number back.
I don't understand, ma'am.
I called an operator a little while ago, and she got a number for me. It was 555-4093.
555-4093.
Mm-hmm.
In the future, you can dial that yourself, but I'll try it for you. Happy New Year. That line is busy, I'm afraid.
I know it's busy. That's my husband's line. I want the other number. The number of the two men who are going to kill someone. I want the wrong number.
You want me to dial the wrong number?
I know it sounds stupid, but I'm trying to save someone's life. This call should be reported or traced. Some poor woman is going to be murdered at midnight. Now, you have to help me. My nurse has the night off, and my husband just isn't...
You have a nurse?
Well, not that kind of nurse. I'm fine, perfectly fine. I'm just confined to my bed for the time being because of my heart.
Well, what did your husband say?
Well, that's just it. I haven't been able to reach him. I've been trying to call him all night. You see, I don't know anyone in the neighborhood, and we just moved here from Chicago 2 months ago. And the couple who works for us, well, they seem to be out for the evening because I've been calling and calling on the intercom, but there's just no answer.
Yes, ma'am, I understand, but there's really nothing I can do. I'll connect you to your local police precinct. Maybe they can help.
11th precinct, hold the line, please. Detective Conley speaking. How can I help you?
This is Mrs. Charles Stevenson. Mrs. Stevenson.
Mrs. Stevenson.
Yes.
How can I help you, Mrs. Stevenson?
Well, Detective, I accidentally got a cross line and I overheard a conversation by a man called Jack. He said he was going to murder someone.
Mrs. Stevenson, you got any idea how many people named Jack live in New York City? Hold the line, please. 11th precinct, hold the line, please. Yes, Mrs. Stevenson.
Well, these men sounded serious.
I'll take a report if you want, but frankly, I'm not giving as much of a clue.
Yes, but
I mean, this is New Year's Eve and everything. That could be a crank call, you know?
No, isn't there something that can be done about it?
Hold on a minute. You take this creep downtown. That's the 4th time this week. I don't want to see him in my face anymore. You understand me?
Don't worry, I got it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mrs. Stevenson.
Look, I know you're busy, but some poor woman who lives near First Avenue is going to die tonight. I mean, I live near First Avenue and the river. It could be me.
Yeah, I understand that, Mrs. Stevenson. About 1 million people live around First Avenue. And if tonight's going to be anything like last New Year's, about 15 people are going to die tonight.
Detective, I don't think you understand it.
No, I understand, Mrs. Stevenson. This is New Year's Eve. Every goon and his brother is out there tonight. My telephone looks like a Christmas tree. You got some more definite information, you give us a call later. We'll be glad to help you. Thank you very much.
Telephone's ringing.
Helen, not now.
Hello.
Hello, may I speak with Paula Jennings, please?
Who shall I say is calling?
It's Madeline Stevenson.
Just a moment, I'll tell her. Paula, it's Mrs. Stevenson.
Stevenson, just say so, for goodness sakes. Mrs. Stevenson.
Paula.
I'm so sorry to keep you waiting.
Paula.
You're the last person on earth I'd want to keep waiting.
Mr. Stevenson isn't home yet.
What? He's not home yet?
Well, and I haven't heard from him either. Where is he? Do you know?
Well, I can't imagine. That is odd, isn't it? Well, now let's see. The last time I saw him, he was just leaving the office to keep a date with this woman.
A woman? What woman?
What's that, Mrs. Oh, Mrs. Stevenson. You know I'm never one to tell tales out of school.
Did you see her?
Oh, yes. Well, she came in the office this morning. She said her name was Lunchchild. Mrs. Lunchchild. It was such an unusual name, I remembered it. Yes. anxious to see him. She waited nearly 2 hours. Someone to see you, Mr.
Not
Stevenson.
now, Paula. I'm late.
Hello, Charlie.
What a surprise. You look beautiful. Let's go into my office.
Did she have an appointment?
No, he didn't seem to be expecting her, but I'm sure he knew her.
Did you hear what they said?
No, I couldn't hear what they said, but they didn't say much because they came out of his office right away. But I do know they made a date.
I usually lunch at our restaurant, Mario's.
I know it.
Good. I'll tell you what. I'll meet you there in about an hour.
Right.
Ask for Harry. He'll show you my table. I've got to make a call, and then I'm going out. I'll be back later this afternoon, and I'll call for messages then.
Do you know where they were going?
No, I don't know where he went, Mrs. Stevenson, but he never came back to the office. And he never even called in for his messages. And there were another 3 calls from that Mr. Evans that's been calling him almost every day lately.
He never came back?
Mrs. Stevenson, there's nothing to worry about. You know how devoted he is to you. Oh, by the way, how'd you like the flowers this week? I thought white roses might be nice for a change.
He never came back, never called?
No. Guess it is kind of odd, isn't it?
Who was this woman? I mean, what did she look like?
Well, let's see now. She had long, dark, sort of curly hair, and she's quite thin. Attractive looking, I guess. Well, you know.
Thank you, Paula.
Oh, that's all right, Mrs. Stevenson. Happy New Year.
Hello?
May I speak to Mr. Stevenson, please?
I'm sorry, he's not in. Who's calling?
I'm Nigel Evans. When do you expect him, please?
I don't know.
I see. Do you know where I could reach him?
I don't know where he is, so I can't help you.
Yeah, I'll call back in a little bit. I haven't got much time. I shall be unreachable after midnight.
All right. Call back later.
Thank you, I will. And if he comes in before, tell him I called, please. The minute he comes in. The name is Evans. It's important. Very important. I'll be at the Lancaster Hotel. 555-6622. Do you have that?
Yes, the Lancaster. All right. Goodbye. Lunch child. Lunch child.
Information.
Hello, information. I'd like the number of Lunch Child in Manhattan, please.
How are you? Jim, Nina, you look great. Hello? Hello?
May I speak with Mrs. Lunchchild, please?
Yeah, just a minute, please. Sally? Hon? Telephone.
Coming. Who is it? I think there's someone at the door. Hello? Hello? Who is this?
Mrs. Lunchchild?
Yes. Who is this?
We've never met.
But I understand that you were with my husband, Charlie Stevenson.
This afternoon.
Oh, yes.
As you may know, he hasn't come home this evening, and I can't seem to find him. I thought you might know where he is.
No, I don't think you understand.
If you do, would you please tell him to come home?
Home. I'm not feeling very well, and I'm all alone.
Why?
Please,
I'm so embarrassed having to call you.
It's me, Sally.
Who?
Sally Dodge.
Sally.
Look, Madeline, you got this all wrong.
I
can't talk now, but I'll call you back just as soon as I can. Don't call me.
Who's on the phone? Where's my briefcase? Huh? Great place for it. Who's on the phone?
Oh, the liquor store. I asked them to call me just before they closed, you know, in case we ran out of champagne.
That's a good idea.
Sally, do we have to stay? I think I hate it already.
We just got here. Give it 5 more minutes. Everybody comes here after work. Really, it's fun. Well, you're never going to meet anyone at the office. They're all too terrified of your father.
Oh, we exaggerate.
Not much. 2 white wine spritzers, please.
That's what I call amateur drinking.
Oh, Dave, what a surprise. I didn't know this was such a popular watering hole. You know, I wanted to call and thank you. I thought your office party was great.
Terrific.
Oh, I'm sorry. Madeline, Dave, and it's Rob, isn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't I meet you at Y&H?
Yeah, that's right. You were working for Joe Armstrong.
That's right. So listen, are you still working on that ad graphic campaign that they're doing?
Yeah, let me get these.
Oh, please, I don't even know you.
Well, that'll soon change.
Would you watch my drink for a minute?
Something I said?
Joe Game.
Oh, hey, look who's here.
Oh,
Sal,
all right. Okay.
see ya.
I need a drink.
Take care.
Okay, well, look.
Would you call me?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All right.
Take care.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, I didn't even see you. Hey, when's the next tennis tournament? I never had so much fun.
And I knew you were going to win.
Didn't.
Who's your friend?
Madeline, a friend from college. I didn't think you'd be interested.
What? What's wrong with her?
Nothing.
Sally, I'm sorry, I have to leave. Oh, my father isn't feeling well and he wants some company. You know how he gets.
I think I'm in your chair. I'm Charlie.
I'm Madeline. That's okay. I have to leave anyway.
Well, let me get your cab. It can get kind of tough this time of night. Just give me 5 minutes to find one.
He is going.
Oh, Sally, would you order me a beer?
Oh, sure.
What did he say his name was?
Oh, Charlie Stevenson.
Is he married?
No. Madeline, believe me, definitely not for you.
Why?
Well, for one thing, his father's a cop before he dragged himself to death. Charlie went to state college. I doubt if he even has 2 dimes to rub together. And he's working in a drugstore.
Well, that's the way my father started, working in a drugstore.
Yeah, but
I'll see
Madeline...
you later. And I take it all back? This was a great idea.
Taxi!
You really didn't have to do this.
I know.
What are you doing Friday night?
Nothing I can't cancel.
I'll pick you up at 8.
Okay, that'll be great.
Close the cab door before somebody hits me. Which I don't know I don't know where you live. Let's go, buddy. Close the door.
323 Lake Drive.
Wait, I don't know your last name.
Coltrane. Madeline Coltrane.
If you'll care to wait, sir, I'll tell Miss Coltrane that you're here.
I don't think that's wise.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have touched it. I'm Charlie Stevenson.
Jim Coltrane, Madeline's father.
Hi. I'm sorry I'm late, but I see you two have met.
Indeed. Excuse me, ma'am.
So what did you really think?
About what?
Well, did you think the style was more like Antonioni or Renoir?
Absolutely. Both.
Well, which one? Renoir or Antonioni?
The guy with the shorter name. But I tell you, I like the car chase.
Ah.
That was
The car chase.
yeah.
Were we at the same movie?
I don't know. I wasn't watching. I was watching you. What can I tell you?
Hi. I'm sorry I'm late, but Dan... Oh, I promised that I'd stay and visit with him a little bit before I went out.
He's probably not too thrilled that you sing.
Oh, he just doesn't want me to... He just doesn't want me to go out every night.
And here I was thinking that we weren't seeing enough of each other.
I know, I'm sorry I'm late. You should see my desk. I thought I'd never see lunch.
Let's go. I'm starving.
I could eat this building.
Miss Coltrane?
Yes.
He's just came.
Oh, they're from Charlie.
Jerry, would you take these up to my office, please?
You bet.
Aren't they?
Okay.
Yes, they are.
You've been seeing a lot of Charlie, haven't you? Taxi!
Yes, I have. I thought so. Wait a minute. Are you upset?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, Sally, wait, no, tell me.
I'm okay, really.
Oh, really? No, Sally,
No, I know, I'm fine.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You never said anything to me, and Charlie told me you were just friends.
Well, I guess he would know, wouldn't he?
Oh, I know he would never want to hurt you, and neither would I.
I guess it helps to have a father who's a tycoon.
What are you saying, that nobody's interested in me except for my money?
No. No. I'm sorry. I just wish I could be happier for you, that's all. I'm really sorry.
How come every time I get into an argument with somebody, they throw my money in my face?
Madeline, are you okay? I'm really sorry.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Really, I'm just fine. Let's go to lunch, okay?
Okay.
Sally? You don't think he's just interested in my money, do you?
Of course not. No, of course not.
You're doing this to hurt me, aren't you?
Daddy, I told you I didn't want to leave the city this summer, even for a few weeks.
We'll talk in 6 months. If you're still seeing this fellow, we'll discuss it then.
Charlie and I want to get married next month.
You don't know what you're talking about. Nobody knows anything about this man. He has no family, he has no
Well,
money.
I'm not marrying his family, and I don't need his money. For God's sake, I have my own money.
Madeline, listen to me. I tried to explain to you your whole life. You're in a privileged position. Many people, regrettably, will want to exploit that now. That's why we have to be more careful than other people. I know you don't like to hear this, but it's the truth. And there are other considerations and responsibilities.
Like what? The business?
Yes, the business.
I told you I don't want to work for the company the rest of my life. I want my own family.
Madeline, you don't know what the hell you want. Look, I did not spend my life building this company for my one and only child to throw it away on an insipid romance.
You don't care about what I want. Only what you want.
Madeline, please.
No, you
Stop.
never listen to me. What
Madeline,
difference does it make? There'll
it's
never
not
be
true.
anybody who...
You don't know what you're saying. It's not true.
I can't breathe.
Madeline.
Daddy.
Sweetheart.
Daddy, I can't.
All right, darling. It's okay. I sent my daughter away for a couple of days to think things over.
Where is she?
I thought we might be able to settle matters on our own. One man to another, as they say. I've learned that you're a very bright young man with lots of ambition. All good things. Let's face facts, Charlie. You're hardly in a position to offer the kind of life that Madeline is used to. Oh, trust me, Charlie. I know my daughter. It wouldn't work. I'm very sorry. And in consideration of your feelings, I'd like you to have this.
$50,000. You can't be serious, Mr. Coltrane. Madeline's worth much, much more.
100,000. Okay, Mr. Stevenson. $250,000.
I don't think you understand, Mr. Coltrane. I love Madeline. We're going to get married. Whether you like it or not.
Charlie, wait a moment, wait a moment. I think I made a mistake in judgment. In that case, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Please accept my apology. I promise you, I have only my daughter's best interest at heart. I want to ask something of you. I'll give you a couple of days to think it over.
What is this?
A prenuptial agreement. If you sign it, I'll withdraw any objection to a marriage. But I want you to think it over. If there's a divorce, you'll get none of my money.
I don't have to think about it. I'll sign it. Oh, no, thank you. I've got my own. I give you this ring as a symbol of my vow. With all that I am and all that I have, I honor you in the name of God.
Madeline and Charles have joined themselves to each other by solemn vows, signified by the joining of hands and the giving and receiving of a ring. I now pronounce them husband and wife in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Those whom God has joined together, let no one put asunder.
Amen.
You may now kiss the bride.
Hello, Charlie?
It's Sally again. I'm sorry I was so abrupt, but I couldn't talk. I mean, with my husband in the room.
Sally, what's going on?
You see, I've been so worried about Charlie, what I should do. I mean, what I could do.
Sally, I don't understand any of this.
Well, it's a little difficult to explain. You see, 3 weeks ago, Jerry, he's my husband. He works in the United States Attorney's Office.
Something kind of interesting.
What's that? Come on, kids.
Picture of your old boyfriend and his wife. That's him, isn't it? Charles,
Stevenson.
Yeah.
That's him. Come on, here.
Mr. and Mrs. Charles Stevenson, she is the former Madeline Coltrane, the cough drop bearers, have recently relocated to New York from Lake Forest, Illinois. Mr. Stevenson will assume the new duties of Vice President of Coltrane Pharmaceuticals. He's working out under the New Jersey plan. The cough drop bearers?
He looks so different.
You think so?
Why are you saving it?
Oh, it's just a case I'm working on. Is that my briefcase down there?
Jerry?
Sally?
No, I mean, why are you saving the clipping?
It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. It's just a hunch we're batting around at work.
Well, he hasn't done anything, has he? Stop that.
Stop that. Keep your scarf on today, too.
Why are you saving it? Jerry, what's going on?
It's one question too many. Anyway, I'm going to be late for a 9 o'clock appointment. Eat your lunch, Prince.
Come on, kids, come on. My shut.
Again. Hello?
Jerry, this is Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, the guy came through. It's all set up.
Terrific. Wait, hold on just a minute, will you?
Morning, Sally. Let's go, kids. Bye-bye.
What about Stevenson?
Don't worry. If we show up, he'll bury himself.
Not half as clever as I thought he was. Yeah, of course we're going. Get Risner to set it up. $100,000 will do it. They got to be in $100 bills and marked. Meet Thursday night at 9 o'clock at the north entrance of the subway, 14th and Lakes. Right.
On Thursday night, I followed Jerry to the subway station. He was with 2 other men. They must have been undercover police or agents of some sort. They boarded the uptown train for Harlem. They got off near 116th Street. They seemed to know exactly where they were going. They joined another man in a car which was parked across from an abandoned building. I'm sure they were all part of the same case that Jerry's working on. But I had no idea what it was. I waited there, watching, for about an hour. Nothing happened. I don't know what they were doing there. They just seemed to be watching the building. I was scared to death, but I had to know what was going on. Then I noticed this odd man who arrived in a cab. He was carrying a briefcase, and he went into the building Jerry was watching. As soon as the door closed behind him, Jerry and the others got out of the car. and followed him in. Madeline, it all seems so strange. Then around a half hour later, they left. Now Jerry was carrying the briefcase. Madeline, I'm sure they were making a pie. And I'm afraid that something terrible is going to happen.
Please deposit 25 cents for the next 3 minutes.
God. Operator, I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Madeline, are you still there?
Yes, but I still don't understand what any of this has to do with Charlie.
Well, that's what I wanted to find out. And that's why I went to see him.
I'm awfully sorry. It took much longer than I thought.
No, it's all right.
Anyway, I hope they took good care of you here.
Yes.
2 scotches, Harry. Double for me, and I'm expecting an important phone call.
Yes, Mr. Stevens.
Well, how are you, kid? It's been a long time. You know, I've often wondered what happened to you. Are you still a tennis champ?
Oh, well, I don't get to play much.
It's too bad. Let me tell you something, Sally. I thought you could have gone pro with your game.
I can't believe you remember.
How could I forget? Anyway, you look great.
2 scotches, Mr. Stevens.
Nervous stomach. It always starts to rumble about this time of day. To one of the great tennis players. So, tell me, what's up with you?
Well, you see, there is something kind of pressing I want to talk to you about. You see, I'm married to a lawyer who works for the Justice Department in the Southern District of New York. And, well, what I'm trying to say is that the other day I saw a picture of you in the newspaper. The one about you being the vice president of the Coltrane Company.
Ah, yes, and I think another drink to congratulate myself for the promotion is in order. Actually, there's quite a few of us vice presidents. You could call me the invoice king. Thousands and thousands of little pieces of paper pass through my office and leave very quickly for the mailroom.
I don't mean to be nosy. It's just that my husband's concerned with cases that...
Call for you, Mr. Stevens.
Oh, excuse me. Just be a minute. Could you order for us?
Sally, this is the craziest story.
Listen to me. Charlie never came back from that call. Charlie's in trouble. I know he is.
How would you know?
Look, Madeline, I don't have time to argue with you. Jerry thinks I'm walking his niece to a cab. All I know is that something's going to happen tonight, and I've heard Charlie's name over and over again, and another name, Evans, something Evans. You see, that tenement in the Spanish Harlem, the one I saw, it burned down this afternoon, and the police arrested 3 men, but this Evans guy escaped.
Who is this Evans, and what does he have to do with Charlie?
I don't know for sure. All I know is that it has something to do with your father's company.
Oh, Sally, this just isn't making any sense.
Just bear this in mind. My husband investigates only one kind of case, narcotics.
Sally?
Lancaster Hotel.
Hello. May I speak with Mr. Evans, please? Thank you.
Just a moment, please. That line is busy.
I'll hold. Never mind.
Dr. Levine's office.
The doctor, please.
No, ma'am, the doctor isn't in. This is the answering service. May I take a message?
Dr. Levine, I have a message for you. Just came in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gonna take it?
Well, I'm sorry. I know it's New Year's, but it could be an emergency. I just have to take it. I swear, it's going to take me.
Go on.
Thank you. Great, thanks. Howard, how are you doing? You're looking terrific.
Hi, darling.
dance, right? I just have to...
Yes.
Mrs. Stevenson, Dr. Levine here.
Dr. Levine, I'm so glad you called. I can hardly breathe, and my chest is just pounding with pain, and I need you to come over. I've had a terrible scare tonight, and I overheard this phone conversation on a crossed line or something. And
These two men were planning on murdering some woman. Come on.
Just a minute,
I called the police, but they're not going to do anything.
But, Mrs. Stevenson, you've already done everything you can possibly do, so there's nothing to be upset about. After all, it is not your problem.
Didn't you hear me? Some woman is going to be killed tonight. Why shouldn't I be upset?
I heard it with my own ears. Now you've got to come over.
Mrs. Stevenson, I'm afraid I can't do that tonight. I only make house calls in extreme emergencies, and, well, frankly, I don't think that is the case. If you would only try harder to work with your husband and me to get a healthier solution for you.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know, as I told your husband, he has spoken to you, hasn't he?
About what?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevenson. I assumed your husband had talked with you. He came to my office, I'd say, about a week and a half ago, and we discussed your health. It was then that we decided that what perhaps might be in your best interest is if you saw a psychiatrist.
These reports on your wife go far back into her childhood. This, Dr. Fisher, has he always been her doctor?
As far as I know, yes. Why?
Well, it's just that his notes and findings are peculiar, to say the least. There's virtually no specific symptoms. Even stranger, according to Fisher, she's had several remarkable remissions for long periods in her life.
That's right. I didn't even know about it myself until sometime after we were married. What do you think? A view of the river? We can move in a week.
Well, it's beautiful. They've all been beautiful. But, sweetheart, we don't need an apartment.
Well, it's not just an apartment. It's a home. We can't live with your father forever.
Well, I don't know why not. We never see Daddy unless we want to, and it's not like he's ever around.
But he is. He's always around. Even when he's not around, he's around. It's his house. Look, I know it'll be hard for a while, honey, but we have to try to make a life without him. I had a meeting with Josh Peterson yesterday. I think he's going to offer me a job.
You have a job. You're a vice president of the fourth largest pharmaceutical company in the country.
In charge of pushing papers.
Oh, don't exaggerate.
Madeline, let's face it, I'm never going to get the first base as long as I'm working for your father.
I happen to know that my father
Your
has...
father can barely tolerate me. Why can't you understand?
Can't you understand that my father is getting older? He's not going to live forever, and he needs me. You're not the only one with needs.
Stop listening to me.
All you want is your own apartment, your own business, your own... All bought with my money. Well, what about what I want?
Madeline, what's wrong? Madeline!
Want Charlie in here? She's going to be all right.
Thank God. You can thank Dr. Fisher. She had a heart attack.
Well, she had a most severe arrhythmia attack to date.
Just tell him the damn truth.
Madeline has a heart condition. not unlike her mother had. We have to be very careful with her now, Charlie. She simply can't afford any unnecessary stress in her life. Of course, you know her mother died of heart failure.
We never moved into our own place, and I never got another job. There always seemed to be some reason why it was a bad time to leave the company. Anyway, Jim made sure there was no one who would consider hiring me.
I don't quite know how to tell you this, Mr. Stevenson, but the truth about your wife is that there's absolutely nothing organically wrong with her heart. Her condition is entirely emotional. It's psychogenic in origin. She's what we call a cardiac neurotic.
You mean she's been faking? All these years?
I wouldn't say that. The pain she feels is very real. It's just that it's brought on by fear, anger, panic. Her mind tricks her into believing that there is something organically wrong. Now, let me assure you, this is not entirely uncommon. Not at all. Your wife is ill, Mr. Stevenson. There's no doubt about it. Her attacks are very real to her, and therefore it's critical that she receives the appropriate psychiatric care and counseling. In fact, I could give your wife the names of a couple of psychiatrists that I often use. So I should call your wife tomorrow?
Maybe I should talk to her first, sort of prepare her, and then I'll make sure she calls you. Just give me a few days to break it to her.
Certainly. And that's how we left it. I was under the impression your husband was going to be talking to you right away.
Well, he didn't. He didn't say anything about it. Of course he wouldn't. He wouldn't believe a word of it. He knows that John Fisher is one of the best doctors in the country.
Everybody knows that.
Yes, but he is not a cardiologist.
You must be out of your mind. Clearly you don't know what you're talking about.
Hello?
Is this Madeline Stevenson?
Yes, it is.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram for you.
You do? Well, read it to me.
The telegram is as follows. Storage room fire in the New Haven factory. Phone busy and had to catch the train. Sorry, darling. Be home late. Happy New Year.
Be home late? How late? And what does he mean the phone was busy? Why didn't he try to call back?
I don't know, ma'am, but I've been trying to get through for the past hour, but the line was busy.
Well, he could have broken in with an emergency call.
I wouldn't know, ma'am. Good night, and Happy New Year.
Who is it? What do you want? Please, who is it? Stop it! Please, stop it! I can't come down! I'm on the top floor! I'm ill! And I'm all alone! Please stop it, whoever you are. No, Detective Kiley, I don't know exactly what's wrong, but somebody kept ringing my doorbell.
Yeah, but I don't understand what you're all worried about.
Please listen to me. Now, what if those two men weren't on a crossed line? What if they were in my husband's office using his phone? See, I talked to a friend of mine earlier this evening, and her husband's in the narcotics division of the Justice Department, and there's some kind of investigation going on.
Yeah, but what has all this got to do with you?
Well, I just have a feeling that my husband might be in some kind of trouble.
And if he is, I could be too.
To make you feel better, we'll send a car around to your address as soon as I can. Harold!
Yeah?
Need a car to do a drive-by, 257 place check for burglars.
Look, I'm short on cars. Come on, it's a damn zoo out there right now.
Waiting until the stroke of midnight.
And the crowd here is just swelling with anticipation and excitement.
Eagerly awaiting the moment to welcome in the new year.
Before we count down the final 30 minutes here at Times Square, we're going to take you around the city on an insider's tour of the best of New York's New Year's Eve parties.
Coltrane Pharmaceuticals, New Haven, security desk.
Hello, may I speak with Mr. Stevenson, please? Mr. Charlie Stevenson.
Sorry, but nobody's here. You can call back Monday.
I don't think you understand. See, this is Mrs. Stevenson, and I know he's up there because he went to check on the fire.
Fire? There's been no fire here. I've been on since noon and had no trouble.
He must be up there somewhere.
I locked up the last office at 7, and no one's entered the building since. I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevenson, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Hi, darling. Charlie, what's the matter?
There's no point in us being together anymore.
What?
I can't live here any longer. I can't stand this house. I know you'll never leave, so what's the point? I've driven myself crazy trying to think of a solution. I just can't.
Why now? Is there someone else?
I've told you what's wrong 1,000 times. Madeline, listen to me. I love you. I do. I just can't live here anymore.
It's all my fault. You've been saying that to me for years, and I never heard it. It's not too late for us, is it? We'll move out of here and we'll go across town, anywhere you want to go.
I want to go to New York. You know I've wanted to live there ever since I was a kid, and if I don't make the move now, I know I never will.
Then we'll go to New York.
You mean that?
I love you, Charlie.
I love you too, Madeline. You don't know what this means to me. We'll get one of those little townhouses.
On the river.
And we'll start all over, just the two of us. Like it was in the beginning.
What the hell do you think is going to be so different about New York? I'll tell you what's going to be different. I won't be there to look out for you. And to keep an eye on old Charlie, which is exactly what he wants. If you do this, you'll never see me again.
Daddy, you can't mean that.
Absolutely.
Then I'll miss you.
Of course, I didn't mean it, Madeline. I'm just trying to look out for you. That's all I've ever meant to do.
Then look out for both of us.
How can I look out for you when you'll be so far away?
It's only New York.
I won't be able to do a thing for you.
Oh, Daddy won't have to. Oh, that smells just heavenly.
I have to take it out now before it overcooks, Mrs. Stevenson. It is after 8.
Oh, I know, Norma. I don't know where he is. I told him 6:30 sharp, and he said he'd be here. But I don't know what happened to him. Maybe I should call the police.
Oh, I wouldn't worry, Mrs. Stevenson. He always comes back. Eventually.
There he is. I was just starting to worry. The traffic must have been terrible. Oh, well, thank you. Come on in, you have to see. Well, what do you think? Beautiful, huh? We can eat right away.
But I can't, honey. I've got a dinner meeting downtown at 8:30. I just came home to get my briefcase I left this morning. There's some little restaurant downtown with that account executive. I'm sorry.
Honey, I asked you this morning to keep tonight free for us, remember?
Excuse me.
We talked about how we hadn't had a night alone together since we've been to New York. Don't you remember?
You're right. How could I forget? Tell you what, I'll do this. I'll just run downtown, have drinks with this guy, skip dinner, come back and eat with you. What do you say? Will you wait and eat with me? Promise?
Promise.
I'm sorry, honey. I remembered some papers left at the office that I knew I'd need at my breakfast meeting tomorrow. You understand, don't you?
I don't know anymore, Charlie. You say one thing and then you do something else. You don't even seem to sleep anymore. I know something's bothering you. I just wish you'd talk to me.
It's just business. There's a big deal going down at work about acquiring some new company. I'll just be a little antsy until we close.
Are you sure that's all it is?
Sure.
Hello?
I wanted to check on my little sweetheart before I meet up with Lily and Jed.
Daddy, you won't believe what I overheard.
What's that, darling?
Nothing really important. Just some crazy men on a crossbone line, I guess.
Well, that's the way it is in that lunatic city. I told you not to move there. Charlie did get home tonight, didn't he?
The two of you are going to have some fun, aren't you?
Well, of course. We're going to have a private party here, right at home.
Oh, that's great, sweetheart. That's great.
I'm sorry I carried on about Charlie before. I just want what's best for you. Well, lots of kisses and a very happy New Year, sweetheart.
Happy New Year, Daddy. Hello? Hello, who is this? Hello? Charlie, is that you? Who is this? Who is this?
It's Nigel Evans again. Has Mr. Stevenson come back?
For God's sake, Mr. Evans, who are you and what on earth do you want?
I'm sorry to keep bothering you, Mrs. Stevenson. It's just that I have a very important message for your husband.
Well, I told you he's not home.
Tell him the building on 116th Street has burned down this afternoon, and that Mr. Diaz has been arrested, so there's no need for the money now.
Diaz? Who is Diaz? And what money?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevenson. You don't understand any of this, do you?
Well, how would I?
Perhaps it would be better if I told you the whole story before it all gets twisted up by the police.
The police?
It's a very complicated story, one that began in your father's Chicago plant a few years ago. My name's Evans, Nigel Evans.
Nice to meet you.
I know. You're Mr. Stevenson. You're...
Mr. Coltrane's son-in-law.
The Vice President of Marketing, that's what I was going to say.
Something like that. Nothing nearly as interesting as what you're doing there. You're a chemist, aren't you?
I have a degree in chemistry. It's pretty elementary what I'm doing here. It's not like those fellows over the hall, what they're doing in research and development.
Sounds like you'd rather be there.
Yes, you're right, I would. But I got passed over, probably my age. Who knows? Life's not always fair, is it?
It's not. What have you got there?
Always something I'm doing for my own amusement. It's a formula which shows promise.
Promise?
Yes. How to extract more alkalides from raw opium than we presently can. Maybe you'll take the fancy of those smart fellows over there, if it works out. Do you know anything about the chemistry of opiates?
Not much. Aside from the imprint codeine I take for my headaches.
Well, this plant produces more opiate-based pharmaceuticals than any other plant in the country. It seems I had made a friend. Your husband visited me often. We talked a lot about his migraines and the need for new cures. He asked a lot of questions about our inventory and wanted to know what became of the leftover lab materials. I was quite flattered. He treated me like a teacher, of sorts. Nor was it all shop talk. He talked about himself, his as yet unfulfilled goals, and you, Mrs. Stevenson, your health problems and his own troubles, his headaches and insomnia. A few months later, he invited me to a rather fancy party. I was quite impressed by what I saw there. Older, rich men with young, pretty girls. I was introduced to our host, Carlos Diaz, a wealthy South American businessman.
Carlos! Charlie. I brought Nigel Evans. Nigel! I just wanted to meet you. This is Nigel Evans. This is Carlos Diaz.
Professor, it's so nice to meet you.
Enjoy yourself.
I felt terribly out of place, yet everyone went out of their way to make me feel at ease.
It was quite odd how they left the party and no one seemed to notice. And they were gone a long time.
Mr. Diaz was very impressed with you.
Oh, I don't think so. He hardly said a word to me.
Oh, I told him some things about you and your importance to the company.
Me? Good God. Aren't we overstating the case?
Well, I don't think so. And Mr. Diaz agreed when I told him who you are.
Who I am?
That's right. Keeper of the company's secrets, our inventory, our formulas. Think about it.
Well, yes, there's some degree of responsibility.
A good deal more than that. I mean, a man with your responsibilities couldn't afford to make a mistake.
A mistake?
Like mix the wrong amount, a little too much, a little too little.
Oh, yeah. Well, too much could kill someone. Too little
could make you a fortune.
My instinct was to protest ignorance of what he was saying. But the truth was, I had long entertained the fantasy of a small sideline business. No one had to tell me the profits involved. Quite frankly, the opportunity had never come to me before.
You know, Diaz tells me that 500 grams of alkaloids is worth $50,000 to him.
Astonishing. Well, no doubt he could process it into street heroin, see closer to 100,000.
I see you do know the market.
You could say I've given it some thought over the years, yes. A month later, we were in business. Charlie, I now called him that, was right. Each week, I would remove 500 grams of opiate alkaloids, replacing it with other substances from our stock. Charlie would sell it to Mr. Diaz, and we split the profits. The most money I've ever seen in my life. A secret of the world, a few grains of white powder. It's amazing, isn't it, Charlie?
Perhaps not as amazing as it should be. I've been thinking we might be able to cut a better deal with Diaz. We do hold the trump cards. Could we?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's something to think about, I suppose. I sensed that day that perhaps things were getting out of control. But as I learned, greed is blind. Then a few months later, Charlie's transferred to New Jersey. I'm not interested. I've worked here all my life. This means they suspect what we're doing.
Not at all. I know all about it. 70 employees are being transferred to the Bayonne plant. Actually, this is just the opportunity we need to expand. As my father-in-law likes to say, you're either growing or you're going.
But Diaz?
You know, I've never really trusted Diaz. Your transfer gives us just the excuse we've been looking for to terminate business with Diaz.
What if he finds out?
He won't. New York's a very big city. Actually, I'm planning on moving to New York myself.
What about your wife?
I have the feeling she just might go for it. Finally. To Manhattan. And us.
The safe in my office had become Charlie's hospital. I had known for some time that he was tampering with the inventory beyond what I was taking. I didn't want to humiliate him, so I pretended not to see what was happening to him.
But why on earth would he do?
Is there something wrong, Mrs. Stevenson?
Is anyone there? Hello?
Hello, it's Nigel Evans again. Is there something wrong, Mrs. Stevenson? Is there something I can do?
No, I heard a crash and I thought someone was in the house, but it was just a cat.
The people who work for us must have let it in by mistake. Now, please go on with your story, Mr. Evans. I have to know what's going on.
Well, did you know Charlie eventually arranged his own transfer? Soon we had a routine. Each week I would take a cab to a building on 116th Street that Charlie had rented. Charlie was right. With Diaz out as middleman, our profits doubled. Despite my fears, it all went remarkably smoothly until, Charlie? What are you doing here?
Nigel. Come in. Please.
Of course.
I'll take that. Thank you. You know, Charlie, I am really surprised at you. Doesn't it look like you've put a nickel of your $500,000 profits into this dump?
$500,000? I think you're mistaken.
No. I think it's you and your country club pal there who's mistaken. You see, that is how much your independent dealings have cost me.
What do you want?
I thought you'd never ask, Professor. I'll settle for my $500,000 and forego the interest. Shouldn't be much of a problem for a man with your resources.
It's impossible. That amount to be immediately noticed.
You know, so would you with your head missing.
Bring the Lord Diaz!
Charlie, I didn't think you had anything more to say to me.
You know I haven't got $500,000. What do you want? You can't kill us?
That would be a grave miscalculation on your part, Charlie.
But I haven't got it.
It's okay. You do have a very impressive father-in-law. And a wife who's an heiress.
But it's their money, not mine. What do you think I'm in this mess?
Is your wife sick, Charlie? So sick people get sicker. Some even die. I was thinking of an inquiry I made on her life insurance. It's $1 million policy. But you know that, of course, being her beneficiary. Don't you, Charlie? Don't you, Charlie? Yes. Charlie. 10 days.
Today, of course, was the 10th day.
Today?
See, I've been trying to reach your husband to tell him that he doesn't have to get the money. Diaz has been arrested. The police know everything. It's all beside the point now. But I can't find him anywhere. If he should come home, tell him... Well, I won't be at the hotel.
But where can he reach you?
Tell him I can be found at 555 4000 later.
555 4000. That's where you'll be? Mr. Evans? Mr. Evans? Am I in danger?
Lancaster Hotel?
Yes. Mr. Nigel Evans, please.
I'm sorry, but he's no longer here.
But I was just talking to him.
Well, ma'am, he checked out around an hour ago. Sorry. Happy New Year.
Five 4,000.
Yes, I'm looking for Mr. Nigel Evans.
I'll check, see if he's here. No, he ain't here.
Well, it's very important that he gets this message when he gets in.
Message?
Yes, it's very important.
Won't do no good.
But this is where he said he'd be. This is 555 4000, isn't it?
You got that right, miss.
Who am I talking with?
Well, this is a city morgue.
I'll have a car dispatched right over.
11th Precinct, Carly speaking. How can I help you?
I need to talk to Detective Kiley right away, please.
He's on a break right now, but I can take a message. Would you hold a minute, please? 11th Precinct, hold the line, please. Like I said, ma'am, he's on a break, but I'll give him a message as soon as he gets back. Your name and number, please.
My name is Madeline Stevenson. And I think there's someone in the alley outside my house. It's 250 Sutton Place. He said he was going to send someone over earlier, but...
Then I'm sure he did, ma'am. I've got another ring on the line here. I'll give him the message as soon as he returns.
Bellevue Hospital Nurses Registry. Who did you wish to speak to?
Marge Gellhardt, please. She's my nurse, and I need to talk to her right away.
And what is the nature of the case?
The case? Well, I'm bedridden, and I'm all alone. I don't know anyone in the city, and I've had a terrible experience tonight.
Have you been recommended by a doctor on our staff?
I don't know. Why are you giving me the third degree? Miss Gellhardt has worked for me part-time for the last 3 months.
I see. I didn't understand. However, Miss Gellhardt is off duty this weekend, but I could have her backup, Mrs. Haynes, call you tonight. Hold on, Mrs. Stevenson. My other line's ringing. Excuse me, Mrs. Stevenson, now, is it absolutely necessary?
Yes, it is. In fact, if someone doesn't come over right away, I'm going to go out of my mind.
I see. Well, I'll leave a message for Mrs. Haynes as soon as she comes in. Please hold on again, Mrs. Stevenson. I'm back, Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Stevenson, are you there? Are you there?
What was that?
What, ma'am?
That click. You must have heard it. Like someone's on an extension.
I didn't hear it, and I have another line ringing.
Someone's downstairs. On this phone.
Thanks, Frank. Harold, did you send a car over to 250 Sutton?
We're running late on non-emergencies.
Well, make it an emergency. Do it now.
Hello?
I have a person-to-person call from Madeline Stevenson from New Haven, Connecticut, from Charlie Stevenson.
Charlie.
Is this Madeline Stevenson?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Hello, honey.
Charlie, where are you?
I'm in New Haven. Didn't you get my telegram?
Yes, I did, but I called and they said you weren't there.
Oh, of course I was there. I've only got a minute before my train comes. It's good to hear you're all right, honey.
I'm not all right. There's someone in the house, Charlie. I'm so scared.
Madeline, you know you're all right. Everything's locked up securely. The windows, the doors. I always double check.
Charlie, tell me about Nigel Evans. He called me tonight and he told me this incredible story.
What?
And he gave me this long vault message for you, Charlie.
What message?
About this building on 116th Street that burned down, and about a man named Diaz who's been arrested, and not to worry about the money, and that you've been stealing drugs from the company.
Why, Charlie? I'd give you anything you want, anything.
My money is your money, don't you know that? I'd give it to you now if it's not too late.
Oh, Charlie, I'm sorry for being so selfish.
I was afraid you'd stop loving me.
Everything I have is yours, don't you know that?
Madeline, are you there?
Yes.
Madeline, I want you to do something for me. It's very important that you do exactly what I say. I want you to try to get out of bed.
I can't.
You've got to, Madeline. I want you to get out of that bed, and I want you to walk to the window. I want you to scream as loud as you can into the street.
I can't move. I'm so scared. My chest is pounding with pain.
There's nothing wrong with you, Madeline! Now get up and go to the window!
I can't move, don't you understand?
Madeline, you have less than a minute to live. Don't talk to me anymore, Madeline. I admit everything I stole from your father and from the company. I was desperate. It's all true. I'm sorry, Madeline.
Charlie, there's someone coming up the stairs.
Get out of that bed, Madeline. Get out of that bed. Walk. Madeline, hurry, please. Madeline, Madeline.
Charlie, please help me. Please help me.
Hurry. Save this ship, please.
One moment, please. That'll be $2.50 for the first 3 minutes.
Sorry, wrong number.